Welcome to the ModGolf Podcast YouTube channel. I am your host, Colin Weston, and hey, we just launched season 18 of the ModGolf Podcast. And I just finished up episode 1, had a fantastic guest, tons of energy, lots of fun, and that is Mr. David Buck, who is the CEO of Backswing Kings, and David does so much more than that. And I said, hey, you got the face for video, my friend. I've seen you out there on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So let's extend that conversation. And that's exactly what we're doing here. And he is actually in his studio, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to hit some balls. And before we actually do that, well, first things first, let's bring him on. And there he is. David, good to see you again, sir.
Nice to see you, Colin. Yeah, this is my little studio. It's supposed to be the sports shed. There's supposed to be a boat and a tractor in here, but I've commandeered them and put a golf net, as everybody should, in any space that you could put a golf net.
Well, we talked about the F word. You're all about focus. If you had the boat and you had everything else in there, you know what? You had too many things going on at once. Let's focus on the golf. So, as I mentioned earlier, we had this awesome conversation on our long-form audio podcast that I encourage our viewers to go back and listen to. But we're going to have a different conversation here. And one of the things that you do, I think one of the starting points a couple of years ago when you started putting content out there, you started critiquing, aka roasting people's golf swings. And that was kind of the launch pad for you with Backswing Kings and all the good stuff you're doing now on social. So
yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the golf community, is that as soon as you start making fun of people in golf, it's like everybody jumps on board because we all know that we suck to some level. And so you said, Colin, on the episode that you were going to show me your swing. Now I have not seen it yet. Okay, this will be the first look of such things. He dug deep into the archives of his videos and found a swing of himself, I understand.
I did. So this is a swing when I was playing in Ireland back in May, so only a couple of months ago. And I'm in full disclosure, I think as most people that follow me on ModGolf knows, I am not a professional golfer or a high level, elite level by any stretch. I love to play, but I'm kind of stuck in that 16 handicap purgatory. Although who knows, maybe David and Backswing Kings will help me simplify things and get me down to a single digit, which is my my big happy dream. That if I can get there, like I said, not looking to get to scratch, but hey, if I can get down to single digits, that would make me happy. But so here we go. So why don't we start with this? Okay, I got to do it. I got to put it on screen and I got to play it here. And let's.
Normally, the people that I'm critiquing aren't looking at me in the face while I'm doing this. So
you know what? I'm a big boy. Even though we mentioned on the podcast, we used the shank story of me crying on the golf course and having to leave 6 years ago when I had a bad case of shankitis. But I promise you, well, maybe I shouldn't guarantee this, that I don't think I'm going to cry right now. I think I'm a little more resilient and thick-skinned, and
I promise whatever I say bad, I will help you fix.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I've signed the waiver here. I'm the one that suggested this. So, okay.
That's true. That's true. This is your idea. Okay, let's have it.
It may be a terrible idea, but this is my idea. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I believe that was right at the end here. That's no good. Okay. We can't have that.
I've seen your tongue. I've seen your tongue. Excellent. Okay.
So here we go.
Tee shot in Ireland. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. What a beautiful view. You know, it's such a beautiful view. I'm sorry that Colin has messed it up with his golf swing. So could we just like crop this video out a little bit so that we can see more of the countryside? Because what I see in your golf swing right there, I'm guessing that you miss an awful lot of balls to the right. Am I correct there, Colin?
You're a very observant man. Yes.
Very observant man. So I mean, if I was making a video and I was critiquing you and I was going through this, I would start by slowing it down and having a look at where you are at impact. But just in looking at the swing, I can tell you immediately that you are coming across the ball in your path. And so I'm just going to jump up here and start showing you some stuff, man. Because if we get our driver out, okay, you got to start here with Buffy, the golf ball slayer. But once you get a golf ball and a driver out, there's really only two things that matter. And those two things are the path in which the club is coming through the ball. And this would be a path, that would be a path, this would be a nice straight path.
Right.
And the face angle where you're hitting the ball. So with your swing, you're going to apply an awful lot of side spin. Okay, I can't see it closely enough to see specifically what you're doing with your body, but I can give you concept and I can give you the drill that you need to work on in order to make this better.
All
Okay?
right.
So conceptually, if you're spinning the ball from left to right, okay, that means that just like if you were playing tennis, okay, and the ball's coming at you and you want to hit a little drop shot to the right side of the court, you're going to go like this. You're going to slice across it and you're going to add that spin to the ball. In the same way with your tee shots, you're adding a spin that's going this way, which you are doing with all of your golf shots. It's just that with the driver, because it's so flat, it shows you all of your problems really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
So, so with that side spin, you're going to come out here and you're going to go out this way. And the only way you can get back to the ball that way is by cutting across the ball that way, which is an exaggeration. Colin,
Thank you.
It's an exaggeration of your swing.
Although that was my 1997 swing you just demonstrated there, though.
We want happy golf balls. Okay, that's what we want. Happy golf.
Yeah.
Happy golf balls are ones that don't spin too far.
There we go.
To the side. Okay, so if we think back to the golf ball, okay, what's happening at the ball? The ball will always start on the line where the club face is pointing. So it's pointing straight, it's going to start straight. If it's pointing left, it's going to start left. If it's pointing right, it's going to start right. So that first thing is going to show you where your club face is pointing. So if I could see the ball in that video, I could see where the club face is pointing just by where the ball starts.
Yes.
The first, 10 feet. Then the side spin that you put on it is directly related to your path through the ball. So if you're coming right to left, it's going to inversely spin off the other direction. So what do you do about it? If Colin, if you wanted to hit the ball straight, which I believe you do, right? You do.
That would be nice.
At some point. Okay. So then you need to start applying the opposite side spin to the ball. Do you understand the concept?
I certainly do.
Okay. So even in a short, if I wanted to spin the ball the same way that you are, I would just go like this and I'd be spinning it the direction that you are. If I wanted to spin the ball the opposite direction, well, I don't have to think elbows, arms, body, anything. I don't think anything. All I want to think is this thing applying side spin to the ball. Can I do it hockey style? Sure I can. Can I do it golf style? Sure I can. Just down here at the ball, you want to apply a side spin to the ball that way. Great, I have applied a side spin to the ball. You just fixed your slice, Colin. Not really. I mean, you have. You've started to become a shot shaper by moving it now from right to left. And so we start right down here at the ball. If you actually wanted to fix your swing, you start right down here. Say, okay, where am I supposed to be at impact? Okay, if you want to know where you're supposed to be at impact, all you got to do is this little cool, quick little thingy. Set up where the ball is supposed to be. Take the club back behind the rear foot like that. Okay, straighten this leg, keep this one bent. Okay, doing that kind of a thing that's going to twist your body that way.
Yep.
Okay, you get your club back there, you twist forward. Now that's where you're supposed to be at impact. Shaft is leaning forward, hands are ahead of the ball. You're pulling through and turning this way. Okay, that's your impact position. But this is where we set up. At some point, we got to get from here to there.
Right.
And there's a lot of problems that happen in between. So instead of trying to figure out the problems, we eliminate all of the problems, every single one of them. And we just start right down here at impact and just hit that shot. That is step one. And I cannot emphasize this is enough. Nobody starts here. Not nobody. I know that's an exaggeration. There are some. There are a few.
Right,
okay?
right.
You start here and you think, okay, how do I hit that ball straight? Once I can hit that ball straight, and I'm not going a la Colin, then I can start adding speed to it. So first thing that you do is you get here to impact and you just go back and through by straightening that leg. You can see it this way. You just straighten that leg and all of a sudden you come through.
Post up. Yeah.
Magic right there. Okay, and then step two is, well, we need to add speed to it. Now, here's the cool, incredible thing. We can add speed to that. Back here and just add more speed, okay? Boom, I've added more speed. And it's like, yes, David, but you already do that. Yes, I know. But if at that point, if you're here, okay, and you add more speed and it spins to the right, then you know the part of your swing that you need to be working on. You don't have to guess up here what's going on because there's still problems right here. And so then we start to work right here. How do you get the right movement through impact right here? So for you, Colin, because you come this way, what I call the bad loop, you want to start doing the good loop. Okay, you see the two different loops, bad, good. Okay, if you look at yours, it comes back this way and loops over that way. Okay, you want it to come back this way and loop under that way. Okay, good loop, bad loop. So then we just start right down here at impact, working on out and under, out and under. See, I'm already promoting that good loop. And once you can learn to do that, then you just add a bit more speed, a bit more speed, a bit more speed until you've got maximum speed. And then that's your full swing.
Love it. Love it. Well, I guess I have my homework now for this afternoon. I know what I'm doing after we finish already. Up. There we go. There we go.
So yes, I started.
You mean I just can't aim farther left? Come on, that's just easier.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can until there are trees to the left of the tee box.
That is a problem.
Then it becomes a big problem.
Yeah, I've experienced that. I know of what you speak. I do.
I do. I'm pretty sure we all have, but yes, that shaping the ball is kind of important for playing a game of golf.
It kind of is. All right, you know what? You've managed to simplify that. That drill is something I'm serious. I'm going to implement that because it's interesting because my golf, everything you're telling me, a lot of it as far as club path and all that, I know all this. My golf IQ is very high because I talk to awesome people like yourself that know what you're talking about. So up here, all of it's there, but I haven't managed to physically translate that both into the right simple step-by-step drills and also putting in that work. I just getting overwhelmed with that I just kind of get stuck and do.
Here's the beautiful thing. Here's the beautiful thing, Colin. When you have brains, okay, as a human, which we all do, your brain can do incredible things if you tell it the right things to do. If you keep things simple, it's like, yeah, I can do that. No different than if you ever play a racket sport and a ping pong ball comes flying at you and you say, okay, brain, hit ball back to other side, land on other side of court. That's simple. We can do that. Okay, we can do that in golf too. It's just as soon as we start adding uncorrelated activities. So if I say, I want to hit the ball, I'm chunking it, okay? Let's say I'm chunking it. I want to hit the ball, not the ground. Then I say, in order to do that, I need to keep my head still. Okay, well, now I'm trying to tell my brain correlate head still, hit ball. Now they're not directly correlated. However, if I said, come through the ball with the club head higher, that's not going to chunk because it's not going to hit the ground. I can do higher, but I can't do multifaceted, strange thoughts that we give ourselves in our heads and expect good results. Okay, let's focus on the thing that's actually the problem.
Wow. That just makes complete sense.
Speaking of problems, we can even introduce problems into our own games for fun. Okay, we talked about these on the podcast, but you couldn't see them. Okay, so this is the best way I can relate it right here. This is a driver that is a normal 460cc driver, 600cc driver. This is not. Okay, this is the Mazel Training Club thing. Okay, it's the size of a golf ball. This head, and then it's got the iron to go along with it.
Right.
Okay, so when you look down on these things, like they are very, very, very tiny. And the whole point of this, and what I say is introducing problems in order to get better, is we've got this little sweet spot in a golf club that we want to hit from time to time. So sometimes you can make things harder in order to make them easier and hope that you hit the ball with it instead of shanking it or towing it. So this is a cool little tool that I've started to use, and I was mentioning that I'm going to play some matches against people using these training clubs because, of course, the margin for error is so much smaller that it sort of levels the playing field to some.
Yes.
But it's really about, having fun on the golf course and trying to hit interesting shots. And this is probably one of the most interesting things that I've added to the repertoire lately.
That driver is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's funny is I went out yesterday and I hit this thing like 270 yards. And
What?
it was, the ball flight's a little sketchy. It spins a lot more than a regular driver, but yeah. Anyways, that's kind of fun.
I love that. Well, to segue with that, I'm going to pull up here on the screen here. Hold on. What do we need to do here? Sorry, my IT person, aka me, is not working that well. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you create all kinds of fun content on Instagram, YouTube, and I believe you've got quite the following on TikTok also, and you do some lives there. You've got ridiculous numbers of people that are jumping in here. So why don't you just run us through your Instagram? And this also has, I see here, you actually play around with creating some content with the mini driver here, and apparently your challenge of playing left-handed, playing wrong-handed, as you call it here. So
wrong-handed.
Yeah. So tell us about the content that you're creating and putting it out there. I know by the time we release this will already have happened on August 29th, but the few minutes we have here, why don't you tell us about some of the fun events that you're doing? Sure. I know that you're on a bit of an adventure and a road trip or going down to the States to collab with some other content creators to play some rounds of golf. So tell us about what you love to do to create in the content space.
Okay, so I'm just going to verbal diarrhea here because I love golf so much. My whole point in doing this is to bring fun back into the game. And lots of people have fun in the game, but there's others who don't. And I think you can have more fun by being able to know where you're hitting it and how to hit it better, and to understand where to hit it on a golf course and how to play and how to, your course management thing. So my goal is to dump all of my years of wisdom and knowledge about golf, playing at all levels. I played professionally earlier in my life, and I'm going to give it another run here in the next year or two on the professional golf side of things. But share some of that wisdom that I have in a fun way that communicates to people who already know that they suck. And by the way, that's everybody. Everybody knows that they suck at this game. Okay, so I'm just bringing a little bit of light to that, and then telling how to actually fix that and change that. And so some of the things that I've got coming up, I'm starting a series of matches, of dual styles matches. I don't know how else to explain them other than they're like 2-on-2 or 2-on-2 scramble format matches. That's going to have short form content to it and long form YouTube content for it. And I've got quite a number of interesting people signed up for this already, because not only do I want to do the golf and the competition and the education and the fun, but also to tell the stories of the other people who love golf, why they love golf, what their background is, because golf is one of those equalizing sports where when we step on the first tee, it doesn't matter what else we've done in life. It's how can I hit that golf ball?
Yeah.
And so the stories of the people involved, and I want to tell people stories, and I want to show it through matches in a fun way. And so I've got a couple of different matches lined up across the US with some interesting and neat creators, and always looking for opportunities to add more of those to the bucket. But basically, through this next year, the next phase for me is going to be ramping up the YouTube match golf, and in that, bringing some more attention to the game in a fun way, because it is a game and it is fun, and it doesn't have to be staunchy and professional. Okay? We're out there to have a good time. And if you ever spend any time on a golf course and you listen to groups of people come by, you'll notice that there's a lot of fun being had. There's a lot of banter back and forth. So I'm just bringing some of that banter to life. And then on the YouTube channel and on the TikTok stuff, I do a bunch of lives on TikTok, which is our live Q&As. They oftentimes go for 2 and 3 hours long, and there's tens of thousands of people that come on and ask questions, and it's crazy and fun and awesome. But at the same time, I love it. That's my element. That's my zone. That's where I want to be. And then content on Instagram and on YouTube is mostly educational. There's some swing roasty stuff like we've done with Colin here tonight. And there's also a specific instruction of things you can get better in golf And I try to make it as simple as possible. Like I just did one, I just recorded one. It's not even up yet as of the recording of this podcast, on lie angles. So I did like super extreme down slope, up slope, side slope,
Nice.
and what to do about it. And if you can understand it from an extreme point of view, then you can understand it from a micro point of view of when you're standing in the fairway and that's a little bit uphill, right? So again, bring some of those extremes to make it funny. And yeah, I mean, like I say, just the mission of bringing more fun to the game of golf.
Love it. Love it. Okay, to finish up here we go. Got the URL for Big Swing Kings. And just to pull up, we'll show this, your tab here. So, hey, if people want to get a hold of you, if they want to get roasted, or I'm sorry, analyzed, and
right. Yes,
and learn how to simplify, you've got some different plans here. Like I said, you want to support you here, love what you're doing here, and have a feeling I'm going to have to get a little one-on-one coaching with you once you come up for air in early September, early October. So I'll be ready to take on the world with my golf game moving forward. So
fantastic. And one of the things, Colin, I know you and I are from a slightly northern climate where we don't have 12 months of year of golf, which is, I'm sure a lot of your viewership is in a similar situation. There's this thing called winter, which is awful. And so all of the stuff that I'm creating and all the stuff that I'm putting out, I'm also instructing in a way that you can learn from your living room. So with a ping pong ball or a wiffle ball, you can practice your impact position. You can practice golf all the way through the winter so that by the time springtime comes, you're set, you're ready to go. So, yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well, there it is. I've been roasted. See, I didn't cry. You know, I didn't.
You were minimized in the screen. I'm not entirely sure. I'd like to see an instant replay of that and make sure you did.
Fair enough. It did hurt a little bit thinking that maybe I do cast the club as far outside than you were saying, because that hurt. That was a bit of a dagger, but that will inspire me to actually come from the inside as I need to do. And starting with that small motion, that impact, taking it a foot back.
Exactly.
I'm saying that's my homework. I am doing that today, 100%. I've got some time this afternoon, so that is happening. Because me not hitting fairways and being in the junk, as you put it, I'm tired of being in the junk. Too much junk in my trunk.
It's not fun. It's not fun. Losing golf balls is only fun when you find 3 more when you're there.
Yeah. That's not how I like to make money, though. I like to try to monetize golf in other ways rather than having to rely on used golf balls found that have also
understood.
Need a new home. All right. With that, David Buck, thanks so much for joining me today, not only on YouTube with ModGolf, but also on the ModGolf podcast. As I mentioned, I will include in the comments the link to that, and I encourage you again, as our viewers, to go listen to that, because it is an awesome conversation. As you can see scrolling on the bottom there, one last little ask there. Hey, it costs you nothing. Show me a little bit of love. If you enjoy these conversations like I have here with Mr. David Buck, so I can keep making more of them, why don't you subscribe to our channel, show us a little love, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, all the above, because I appreciate that. And that's what we do here, and I can really use that as some support. So hey, with that, David, again, thanks for joining me today on ModGolf. This has been so much fun, and I look forward to seeing you in person very, very soon.
Thanks so much, Colin.